What is going on, everybody? This is Patrick Valentine, and I am here once again with my SmackDown Live review. And this SmackDown was, as you guys saw on Twitter, I said it was an average show. And I considered it average because of how I saw it in perspective. But honestly, though, SmackDown, again, like I said, I think was just pretty average. There were some good moments. There were some good things that I did enjoy, but not too much. Just not too much. There was like a few things I liked, but anyway, let's run through the show before I lose track of what I'm doing here. We started off the show with the most must-see talk show in WWE history, which is a load of BS, Miz TV. Started off with Miz TV. Miz, again, is still continuously trying to... Again, he is still trying to make it look like that he's a changed man and he wants to change his ways and put his hatred for Daniel Bryan aside, and he then goes on and says that if Daniel Bryan wants to punch him in the face, he can come out here and do it. But as I was watching this segment, and I don't know about you guys, but if you can predict what's going to happen in a segment, then you know that WWE is not trying at all. I ended up predicting that Daniel Bryan is not even going to come out and he's going to get attacked by Big Cass. And what happened? Big Cass ended up coming out. Big Cass ended up coming out during the segment, and he cut a pretty good promo. I will give him that. He cut a pretty good promo. I actually liked his promo. He sounded really good. He sounded very good, and he sounded very, very serious. And he still has the same old music that he had before when he turned on Enzo. But Big Cass, like I said, I think he's gonna do pretty well for himself here on SmackDown. So I've got a lot of I've just got that inside of me to think that he's got a big future ahead of him. But right now he's taking on Daniel Bryan. It looks like after he's done with Cass, after Bryan's done with Cass, he's probably going to move on to the Miz. The IKonics were in the ring, and they didn't get an entrance. They were in the ring, they were cutting their promos, and this is the one thing I really don't like. I'll be fair with you guys. If there's one thing I do not like about Billy and Peyton, I like their promos, but honestly, the things that they do in the ring is not really impressive, especially when they talk. Like, they're trying to be all cutie with one another, you know? I don't like that. I don't like them trying to be all cute with one another and trying to make it look like they're lesbians, you know? Like, I don't like that. Because they were on camera and then they were complimenting each other's looks on the cameras, and I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. I thought this promo section was pretty stupid. You know, Billy and Peyton, if you want them to be heels, they need to be serious. They need to be serious-toned heels. Like, I can't stand their... I'm not liking their it's just how they act. It's just their acting. It's just not really that good in my opinion. But to my surprise, the IKonics actually defeat Asuka and Becky Lynch. To my surprise, because if you guys remember on Twitter, I posted up the picture of the tag team match, and I considered this as a punishment because I can't believe it's only been 2 weeks and WWE put the IKonics in a situation where I believe they wouldn't win. And surprisingly, they actually did win. And yes, I know they cheated. Peyton Royce put her legs on the ropes when she pinned Becky Lynch. But hey, win it. You got to do whatever it takes to get a win. That's what it's all about. Winning is everything. So it doesn't matter how you win as long as you win. So Billy and Peyton get the win here. This is what should have happened last week. This is what should have happened last week when Billy Kay versus Charlotte. You know, getting the win. That's what I wanted last week. But we get it this week. Jimmy Uso versus Eric Rowan. Now, I know his name is Rowan, but I just prefer Eric Rowan. Jimmy Uso gets the win due to Naomi interfering. Now, I don't know if this was a mistake on WWE's part, but honestly, when Naomi came out, they didn't stop her music. Jimmy Uso pinned Eric Rowan with a roll-up, and her music was still playing. They didn't switch it to the Usos' music. And this whole character, and what has happened to the Usos? What has happened to their character, man? Their character was the day one-ish Uso penitentiary lockdown. They turned heel, you know? It was a part of their heel personas. Lockdown, Uso penitentiary, you know, and all that BS. Now, they've become generic. They're now back to square one. They're now back to square one. They're now back to, you know, the way they were before that. Back to the way they were before. Now I know they don't have the face paint and they don't do the little dance anymore, but they're still back to their generic babyface characters. Naomi's on their side. You know, Naomi's interfering in these matches. You know, like, why is Naomi getting involved in this situation? That's what I want to know. Why is she getting involved? They haven't explained why she's getting involved. The only thing that I can think of is maybe is that they're probably planning, you know, someone to pair up with the Bludgeons to verse the Usos and Naomi. That's what I'm thinking here. But I don't know, but I don't understand why Naomi's getting involved. She's the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal winner, and we're having the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal winner helping the Usos. And by the way, when Asuka came out in their match when they lost, they actually showed the 2018 Royal Rumble winner on her entrance plate when she came out. Yeah. Get rid of that, please. Get rid of that. We already know. There's no reason to have that there. But again, Naomi interferes, but she doesn't interfere the way she did last week. Like I said, her music played, she came out, start dancing, and that distracts Luke Harper and Eric Rowan to give Jimmy Uso the upper hand on Eric Rowan and pinning him 1, 2, 3. Carmella and Charlotte have their contract signed. Seriously, I just want to roll my eyes out. You know, I've given Carmella a fair chance. But Jesus Christ, man. I literally wanted to just stop what I want. Just stop, man. Carmella constantly playing that video package that she had. That she made for last week. During that Mellabration. You know? And the only reason why she kept playing it is because people were disrespecting her and not giving her the proper respect she deserves. Well, maybe, Carmella, maybe if you start admitting that you actually had help in those situations, then maybe people wouldn't boo you. Because we all know the IKonics were the reasons why you cashed in that Money in the Bank, and we all know Chinless Ellsworth is the only reason why you won the Money in the Bank. Now, sure, in the second Money in the Bank, she didn't have help. But again, Ellsworth still got involved. So she continues to play the video package, and at this point I was like, you know what? If they're gonna keep doing this, then I'm just not even gonna pay attention. So I just went into my room just to check what's going on my. I went into my room on my laptop for a bit, and then Charlotte came out, and I was like, thank God. I couldn't be any more happier to see Charlotte. And if there's one thing I liked here is that Charlotte said nothing. Charlotte ignored Carmella. She said nothing and ignored her. She was sitting she was sitting down, not saying anything. Carmella was being unprofessional, trying to wave the title in Charlotte's face, trying to get her attention. At this point, Carmella was just starting to piss me off. Carmella was just really starting to piss me off and get on my nerves. And then eventually, finally, she sat down. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to say this, and I know I should have mentioned this in her entrance. Carmella, for some reason, thinks she's AJ Lee. For some reason, she thinks she's AJ Lee. Coming down to the ring, skipping. Give me a break. Why the hell am I watching someone thinking she's AJ Lee 2.0? I don't like that. So she thinks she's AJ Lee. I know the moonwalking is her own thing, but Jesus Christ. Intentional skipping. As I said, Carmella was trying to get on Charlotte's nerves by waving the title in her face and trying to be unprofessional. Charlotte was just sitting there with her robe on, just picking at her nails. That's what she was doing. She was just picking at her nails, not paying attention to Carmella, signs the contract, looks over at Carmella, woos her, slams her head on the table, and then flips the table over. I tell you what, Charlotte was actually pretty good in this segment because she said absolutely nothing. Charlotte was the best thing about this entire thing because she did nothing. She said nothing, she uttered nothing. No talking Charlotte equals a good Charlotte. Shelton Benjamin was scheduled to verse Jeff Hardy. As Jeff Hardy made his entrance, his music cut off and then Randy Orton came out. And I find it hilarious. And I find it absolutely hilarious is that Randy Orton did exactly what Jeff Hardy did to him last week. Shelton Benjamin got the win due to the cringe brother, Sunil. Or Samuel. I think it's Sunil. Yeah, I believe it's Sunil. Sunil Cringe comes in with a mask on, chop blocks Jeff Hardy, gets in the ring, Randy Orton grabs him, and pulls off the mask, and it was Sunil Singh. Now, I don't know. I don't understand why it's okay for a Monday Night Raw. You know, Sunil Singh is a part of Monday Night Raw, so I don't think it's okay for someone from Monday Night Raw to show up on a SmackDown event. But with this distraction, Randy Orton got hit with, I'm not sure what Benjamin's finishing move is called. I think it's called the pay dirt or something. He hits his finishing move on Randy Orton and pins him in the middle of the ring. Randy Orton and Shelton Benjamin were having a decent match until that ending was ruined. Then it was Nakamura, Rusev, and Aiden English versus AJ Styles and the Club. The Club have been reformed. It's good to see. It's good to see that, man. It's actually really good to see that. And now I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, the Club should be heels. You know, they should be heels. They don't need to be baby faces." You know, this whole too sweet thing, it's over. It's so over. Why do we need it as a heel thing? Why does everything need to be a heel thing? Yeah, I understand it would definitely work. But still though, Gallows and Anderson and AJ Styles, it's too sweet. And there were a lot of people in the crowd doing it. So why have it as a heel thing? Why have it as a heel? Why having the too sweet and the Styles Club, as I call it, with Styles? When it's AJ Styles and the Club, I call it the Styles Club. But when it's Balor with the Club, it's Balor Club. But Why would the Styles Club be heels because of the Too Sweet thing? Then the fans would stop doing it. So, I don't understand that. And apparently WWE seems to have an issue with their new talents, a part of the Superstar Shakeup, coming into their brand, because Asuka, she loses, even though she wasn't the one that was pinned, but she's just arrived on SmackDown. She loses. Gallows and Anderson have just arrived on SmackDown, and they lose. Kinshasa to the back of the neck of Luke Gallows. And after the match, AJ Styles and Nakamura continued their brawl. Nakamura low blows AJ Styles. He goes to Kinshasa AJ Styles, but Carl Anderson comes in and saves AJ Styles. He took a bullet for AJ. And because AJ Styles was so vulnerable and couldn't fight back, he was trying to save Carl Anderson, but in the end it was too late. Nakamura nailed the Kinshasa on Carl Anderson. Now, we heard Nakamura's brand new theme song. And if you want me to be honest, I don't like it. I do not like it at all. I think I really do not like it. If it was the exact same theme as WrestleMania 34 with the guitar solo, then I definitely would have been okay with it. The WrestleMania 34 one should have been his new theme song. I don't like this new theme song that he has. It really makes absolutely no sense. But, well, it does make sense for why they would change his theme. Oh, the sun's going down. My apologies, guys. The sunlight's gone away, so I had to turn on my light. But yeah, I really didn't like Nakamura's new theme song, in my opinion. It was a bit weird. The Japanese singers really didn't make sense, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, that is your SmackDown review, man. That's your SmackDown review. Like I said on Twitter, and I'm sticking to what I said. SmackDown was average. It gets a 6 out of 10 for me, as it was an average show. This is our go home for the greatest Royal Rumble. You know. So that's it. So that is the end of the build to the greatest Royal Rumble. I don't think I'm going to watch the greatest Royal Rumble, to be honest with you guys. I don't think I'm going to watch the event. So anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me. And I hope you guys like this review. It'll be coming your way very, very soon. Thank you all for joining me. Hit that like button. Comment your thoughts down below. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. See you guys next time.